Hi everyone, welcome back to Simply Economics. I hope you're still doing well in these difficult times, not only with your health, but also financially. I want to talk about the situation in Turkey again, because boy, it's not looking good. I made a video about Turkey more than a month ago, which I will link at the end of this video. And after the latest inflation reading of 36%, I wanted to make another video. Is the Turkish lira heading towards the next hyperinflation episode? Are you ready? Let's go! I want to begin with what happened in the meantime between my previous video and now. On the 16th of December, Erdogan actually lowered interest rates from 15% to 14% instead of raising them. Joe Biden, can you please explain why Erdogan lowered interest rates?
Guess what? It grows the economy.
Yes, according to Erdogan's theory, it helps the economy, it lowers inflation and it boosts exports, because it is cheaper for foreigners to buy Turkish products. Of course, lowering interest rates when inflation for November was 21% is a recipe for disaster. And you guessed it right, inflation for December was 36%. Then on the 20th of December, the lira actually rose a bit because of Erdogan saying he is going to compensate savers who are currently losing purchasing power because of the falling lira. He said special new deposits will be tied to the US dollar by promising to compensate for losses caused by the falling lira. In addition, he said the following: investors will be encouraged to move towards Turkish lira-based assets by the issuance of government bills that are indexed to public economic enterprise revenues that are transferred to the budget. And this basically means that if the economy is doing great, you're making money on this short-term debt. But if the economy is doing worse or is doing bad, then you're actually losing money, which is the most likely scenario right now. So not only will you likely lose money, but who wants to buy these bills anyways? Even if it returns a few percentage points. Who wants to be paid a few percentage points in the future if inflation at that time is 50% or maybe even 100%? Now, all these ambitious plans, there is no way they can afford this. I mean, all these plans need to be financed. You see, raising taxes right now is not a viable option due to high inflation. And at the moment, no investor wants to buy lira-denominated bonds because of the falling lira. So this means that they will have to print the money by monetizing the debt, increase the money supply even more, and this will exacerbate the inflation problem even more. Now, on my previous video about Turkey, I actually got a really nice comment by someone who explained to me the religious aspect, why Erdogan does not want to raise interest rates. I was really amazed to read it because personally I had no idea. So I did some research about it, and his statements of Erdogan now started to make sense. For example, Erdogan describes interest rates as the mother and father of all evil. Now, I will admit that my knowledge about Islam is basically close to none. So initially for me, the relationship between religion and interest rates did not really come up in my mind at first. But it turns out that in the Islam, it is actually forbidden for Muslims to receive or pay interest. And this is called riba, or translated in English, unjust. This means Muslims cannot charge interest on money owed, and they also cannot spend interest on money they have received, in a way that benefits themselves. The reason behind this is namely because of the concept that interest exploits the poor. When a person is wealthy enough to lend someone in need money, they are not in a position where they should profit from a poor person, because this is seen as greed. But please correct me if I'm wrong. So knowing this, it starts to make a bit more sense. But if we keep interest rates this low, or lower them even more, inflation will go up even more, which means Turkish people will lose even more purchasing power, and holding on to Turkish lira will make you poorer. So isn't that a crime as well? Isn't that unjust as well? The fact that the monetary policy induced by a president is making you poorer day by day. Again, I'm not trying to insult anyone, I just think it is unfair that ordinary Turkish people are suffering this much. Let's now fast forward to the present. At the moment we see that the Turkish lira is falling again because of a lack of confidence, especially after the latest inflation reading of 36% and because of these sort of, desperate government measures. We see people are getting rid of liras and are buying euros and dollars. We also see that the economy is shrinking when we look at nominal GDP, let alone real GDP, which is adjusted for inflation. Turkey holds a lot of foreign denominated debt, not only the government but also businesses and individuals. And because of the falling lira, paying back this debt is extremely expensive now. More businesses will likely default in the future, as debt is mounting and costs are going through the roof. Interest rates are only going lower and inflation shot up massively to 36%, but in reality it is probably much higher. In summary, it's a complete mess, and if a change in monetary policy won't be made, then hyperinflation will come, the Turkish lira will fall even more, and Turkey will suffer. And some would actually argue that Turkey is already suffering from hyperinflation, or are close to that point. A strong sign of hyperinflation is when people are massively exchanging that domestic currency for more stable currencies like the euro or the dollar, which is exactly what we have seen. Turkish people are exchanging their liras for euros or dollars, or even gold on a big scale, because they are losing confidence. Another big sign is when inflation increases extremely fast, which is what we saw from November to December, from 21% to 36%. And maybe the most fundamental indicator is too much money being printed, in combination with a shrinking economy, which is again what we have seen in Turkey. All in all, we see strong signs of extremely high inflation ahead. And if you live in Turkey, stay safe, stay cautious, and take measures if you find them appropriate. But for now, that's it. Please let me know what you think about the entire situation in the comments below. Don't forget to like or subscribe if you want to, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.